I am finally back with my Wi-Fi. Just checking and I'm on a new stream so I can be on all my pages at once. So I have had a very interesting, we call it a Lion's Gate, I suppose, spiritually, but the last few months I've been disconnected and had to move out of my space for different reasons. And so I've been off Wi-Fi. Uh, but yeah, so let's just start chatting again. I have got my podcast up to help people with what's going on right now. There's a lot of people struggling with their health. We are not in the middle of spiritual war. The spiritual war has been going on for thousands and thousands of years, and we are just healing from it. I'm trying to explain this to people. Spiritual war, it sounds like quite scary, but I mean we can also see what's going on the earth realm. It's not particularly great. Whether it's affecting you personally or not, there are people. There's lots of cardiac arrest. There's illnesses coming up. There's cancers going on. There's doctors not being able to see patients, and long COVID issues and things like this. So this is an awakening, a spiritual awakening, which means we are becoming connected to our body. The way I see it, the earth has just woken up out of her car crash, and we're connected to the earth. She's purging a lot of trauma. There's a lot of things that have gone on the earth that for thousands of years. I've researched this. I've spent the last 10 years of my life researching this because of conditions I had, mental health, physical health, and other issues, which is on some of my podcasts. So I'm not going to go off onto that. But so this spiritual attack, in my opinion, happened in the Egyptian times when we were disconnected from the pineal gland. All right, and this is why this time, it's 2020, is when the earth is awoken, and so she's awoken to the physical body, so she can feel what's in her body, and then whatever is uncomfortable is coming off the earth. But we are on the earth as well; it's got to come through us. And I was told I had a near-death experience, and I did see Jesus, and he gave me a bit of a job a few years ago, and now I'm understanding what it's about. So I'm here to show people how to go through the pain of how to cleanse the nervous system and how to get back into alignment so what happens is, whether you all think you're spiritual or not, spiritual is the dark matter. It's electrical frequency of the disconnection from source, from sky energy to earth energy. This is why we're talking about a lot of earthing. And the vaccine, whether you've had it or not, awakens the body to trauma. The people that haven't had the vaccine have already had trauma in their life, so they know that something's going on. The people that have had the vaccine still trust the system, but then that's happening less. So there's no judgment. We're all at a different level. And the truth of the matter is, this is just the end of it. So it's now to be seen, because we're in a higher frequency and able to see and feel the trauma that's got to come through all of our systems. And I have just done a couple of podcasts on liver flushing. I go on about this because it's free, and I know people are struggling with money. This is a reflection of self-worth. Money is man-made, and it's a reflection of self-worth. I've seen the earth in the future, and this system will be gone, but we have a few years to go yet. Okay, so to get into alignment and find what your purpose is. And when you're in alignment to your nervous system here, connected, your 12 organs can connect and they can heal. And then you're in alignment to what you're meant to be, which is why everyone's moving house as well. The earth is making a shift where she wants us to be. So as we move into alignment, our body will start to cleanse. But another way I try and explain it is that I can guide people like an Uber driver of the darkness, the dark matter, the spiritual, the unconscious, that there's a conscious, Christ consciousness awakening is all our cells awakening in the body and purging the trauma that we've all experienced for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Whether you're aware or not, your body is going to go through it because it's coming from the earth. And we want to get as many people, much as humanity, to do the healing process, because actually we The earth needs us. We are part of nature, part of the balance of the elements in her body. And we have this communication of the oxygen coming in and out. This is why the pressure has suddenly gone really crazy. And it's very conflicting because the symptoms of a spiritual attack on the body, whether it's our body or her body, can mirror healing and COVID. And I've been trying to figure out the last few years what's what, because I've been clearing entities from people's aura field. And then also when they're purging their own trauma, it can be detoxing symptoms, a virus symptom, which actually we welcomed a few years ago. But now we've been taught to be afraid. But we're being afraid because people are passing. But this is where you're not connected to your pineal gland, so your body can't take the pressure. Okay, the gut takes the anger, the toxins, and the pressure here from the liver, and the heart goes like this. Okay, and it takes it out. Like this is what happened to me, but I came back down. And I've been doing this ever since. I've been healing since, and I've been healing with people since. I've now been guided to do videos, and I've done a podcast. Please do watch my videos if it helps, obviously. If it doesn't suit you, then that's fine. But just leave this space safe, and so other people can use it, because I'm here to, my intention is to guide people freely as much as possible. I'm going to start doing group work online, because obviously I charge per hour, because this is my job and I can't do any other job, otherwise my energy is affected and then I can't help the energy work properly myself. I have to keep myself very clear and very connected to get the energy to come through. I will be doing obviously free videos and podcasts, and then group work as well, so it's more affordable for people. And there's some other things I've got into play. So I would guide people to do liver flushing and healing trauma, and making sure you know how to clear your space energetically. This is on my videos, so to have some tips about that. I'm just trying to think as well. Also, the weather of what's happening. What we just had this massive big heat wave, didn't we? And what when I went through my awakening, it was quite scary, and there were times I wanted to section myself. Luckily, blessed, I was held, and I didn't. And obviously, I had a son I was looking after, and we got through it. But when you are waking up, you may start to hear things and see things. Children are having these things already, because we are actually going to see in the darkness. We will be able to see in the galaxy, in the universe, and these different dimensions will be opening up to us. But we need to make sure, are we being safe? Are we hearing them? Because there are dark forces and lighter forces. Not that they're to be afraid, but they're to be seen. And when you haven't seen it, your fear kicks in. So again, all of this is information on my podcast, because if you are feeling this and you're nervous, it's just unknown, okay? The unknown stuff can be seen and heard, and that's what I'm here to help with, amongst others like myself, to help get an understanding and the wisdom of what's going on. This happened with the gods. There was a big war in ancient civilization with gods, and then the throat chakra shut off from the pineal gland, so it means our third eye closes. And the earth is a lost civilization, and actually is a war over the galaxy. It's quite big, but at the same time it's quite exciting. But we've got about 7 years, and there's a big wave coming for this winter, and I'm very concerned. The other reason I got on to do this video, once I've got my Wi-Fi, is that they've got a new vaccine coming out. I do ask people, I don't want to take sides because it doesn't help, but the vaccine is not going to heal anything. Well, what it does, it gives the body a big shock. That's quite loud, sorry, but it's shock on the back of the pineal gland, and it disassociates your nervous system from the rest of your organ system. Okay, it's a drug that your body doesn't understand. Okay, it's like a blocker, and fine for a short time, yeah, because you've got adrenaline that kicks in, and then you're kind of disassociated. You know, the spirit has got, we know that a spirit, I can feel it outside, you know, the lack of communication, lots of communication problems now as well. It's like, hang on, you said this, no, you said this, no, you said this, no, you said this. Okay, we have coercive manipulation that's in the symptom, in the system, in the symptoms. So it will be coming into your relationships as well. And if you are disaligned with your pineal gland, your nervous system, you don't know if you're communicating with your higher self or out of alignment. And this is where we will have fracture. factor and things going crazily misaligned. So all I ask people to do is just to go inside, just to go inside your own self, your own soul, and ask what, if everybody on the planet was to do that, we'd all have this aura frequency, which actually then gives it's called the love force field actually on this planet. Now the love force field is a certain frequency that resonates the same as the sun, which is why we couldn't handle the sun. The sun was very hot. And that's a bit of a purge release because of the trauma. But I'm going off on a different subject. If we all connected and healed with our higher self, we have this resonance of aura field that becomes very strong. And this is what a healthy cell does with a virus. And this is what we used to, children's frequency is quite high. And we used to ask them to get viruses, didn't we, when they were young, to build their immune system. It's got a bit dark. Sorry, I've closed my curtain. It's my video, the first one I've done, but anyway, in this room. So it is to welcome. You can welcome COVID. I've had it a lot. I've had it a few times where it's been okay, and I've had it a few times where it's been oh my god, I think I'm going to die. And I say that garlic cleansing, liver flush. I do other medicines. Eye-opening mushrooms and. I do this with guidance, and I would suggest people do it with guidance. But there are medicines, like Kambo medicine. These are all very ancient medicines, and I've been to Egypt twice now to research this. They're plant medicines. They're medicines from the earth, and they help you open up your third eye so you can go into your trauma, relive your trauma, and then so you resonate at a very high frequency, and you can see the subconscious, you can see things in the galaxy, and the fear is not there in your body. And this is where we're all going to be, but we all have to come in and do the work, and try not to react to things that make you angry, because that's what they're wanting, is a reaction. And so how I reacted with a lot of anger a few years ago through a situation I went in, and my skin started to blister, a little bit like the heat we just had. Okay, it was in my skin, so I had to find forgiveness. I went through sexual abuse that I lay dormant in my body in the age of 6 to 11. I had to purge that, I had to release that, I had to take care of my son, and my body was struggling. So this is why I know this stuff, and I came down here to receive that, so I would go in and do the healing work and then support others. Even if you don't have that trauma, we still have trauma of humanity. There's in the whole subconscious. So we're all releasing. This is a Christ consciousness, so that we can connect to our body, and we have a beautiful, beautiful future to come, where the earth is a manifestation of releasing, just being in peace and in trust, and with connection with other human beings with no coercive manipulation. You'll be able to feel each other's truth. I don't think you even have to have speaking. You can speak through, when I have these communications, when I work with my patients, I don't need to speak. I can tell them what their soul is telling me. And I've learned how to do that because I've done my healing. I didn't know that was going to happen. But we're all going to have these abilities in the future. So that is the hope, and that's also one with self-love and forgiveness. Also forgiving anything in your ancestral family lineage, or not necessarily even family. Anything is forgiveness, and ask that they come to you so you can learn trauma and learn pain and suffering. And then forgiveness means the people in the past in the astral realm that are stuck can be released to source. Then we have the boundary of the yin and yang, and the earth becomes safe once again. So she has this invasion, like a virus invasion, but that's been going on for thousands of years, and it's only at this time on earth right now that we are expressing it. But something is trying to stop us expressing it, and we have to express. You have to purge. If you can pay for a detox, thousands of pounds, and go to a different country, or same country, you get similar symptoms of COVID, but intentionally you've paid for it and you're enjoying it. Okay, spiritual attack is different. That may be a reason of passing as well. So I have cleared people's energy that are having palpitations and things to an extent, and then it will calm down and it will stop. There's two things. But purging, a detoxing thing, but not being afraid of it makes a whole difference. And again, it's the intention of what we're being told. So just be careful. What is understanding truth and what's going on in the world, and embracing it and letting it come through the flood, the water. You see, the water is the emotion, is the dark matter. Okay, the water is emotional frequency, and it's been because the metal is on the earth. Her soul, her alignment now is like this. So the electricity and the water and the power that comes in the earth. This is why the bills are high. We've got this. This is why droughts and waters, because she's going like this. She's trying to get back together. Okay, metal, very heavy metal. We're all resonating this frequency. The earth can't cope. And we're seeing this right now, quite very clearly. So I hope that video helps. Please look into my podcast on my YouTube. It's Heal and Hope. Any videos, any ideas or information that people may want, I can channel if I'm not sure of the answers. If it's a medical, I share my medical knowledge of my acupuncture and energy work about elements and what conditions we have when certain organs are out of balance. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about them. So I'm just going to say goodbye for now on my new streaming. I haven't, all right, so I hope that helps. Lots of love, lots of light. And now I'm back on my Wi-Fi. It's been about 6-8 weeks where I've been disconnected. So, I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.